Hi, Geoff Gruson, Executive Director of the Police Sector Council. The Police Sector Council is a non-for-profit looking at the long-term sustainability of policing in this country, focusing on strategic HR planning and management. When it comes to HR, the critical issue in HR, of course, is training. Our catchphrase for everything we try and do with CPKN is skills up and cost down. We're trying to find innovative ways to ensure that police people at every level across the country get the training to develop the competencies they need to be successful at the jobs they do. And a critical piece of that is the just-in-time training and the simplified and facilitated training they get through CPKN. The partnership with CPKN started about 5 years ago. First of all, both of us are non-for-profits, which is, I think, very important in the policing environment. That means that everything we do, any revenues we generate, get plowed back into improving the situation in policing. What we need to do is find new and better ways to improve the skills in a more efficient, cost-efficient, but more importantly, effective way for all 205 police services across the country. From a Police Sector Council perspective, the sustainability of policing into the future is dependent on skilled people, right people with the right skills doing the right job. And what CPKN brought to our table was the ability to ensure that we do that in an e-learning or a blended learning environment. And it was just a natural fit, and we've become very close partners in the 5 years since that first meeting. What we're talking about is one of possibly a number of alternatives to pure classroom training, where a student leave their home operation, travel some distance to a classroom setting, have to be accommodated in the 2, 3, 4 days they're there, and get instruction directly from a teacher. The economics of policing tell us that that's just not the only model that we can continue to leverage into the future. We have to find more innovative ways of getting people trained and getting the knowledge they need. When you think of policing, it's the only sector in the economy, the only sector in Canada where people don't come already trained, and we dump training in them for 20 weeks or 35 weeks in an academy setting, and then we continue to train them every single stage for the next piece of more complex work they need to do, from constable through to chief of police. That's a lifelong learning environment that can't be done in a classroom setting. That's an environment that absolutely demands that we've got some options, some alternatives to classroom training, where people can learn at their own pace, on their own time, in their own environment, without leaving their operational situation, and still get an effective learning environment. And in fact, what research continues to prove to us is that e-learning is probably more effective than classroom learning. We've been talking a long time about the fact that increasingly courses need to be nationally relevant. And what we mean by when we say nationally relevant is understanding that 85, even 90% of what police do from jurisdiction to jurisdiction is the same. The situation changes, the environment may change, but the work that they do is the same. So when we talk about nationally relevant e-learning, what we mean is leveraging subject matter experts, leveraging content, leveraging good practices in training, and making those available right across the country. There's 205 police service. There's 90,000 officers and civilians in policing that need constant upgrading of their skills. One sector, part of the sector, one jurisdiction, one police service is developing training. That training is probably also needed in 10 other jurisdictions in Canada. And the only way to make sure we constantly drive that focus is when you're putting your training together, when you've got your subject matter experts, when you're looking at the content, try and keep in mind that this is content and processes and expenditures that are going to be used again and again in police services across the country. That's what nationally relevant means. It means do it once and use it often as we can with moderate customization or tweaking for every jurisdiction. That's why CPKN works.